Let's talk about this. When the pandemic forced daycares and schools to close, the stress of balancing childcare while working a full-time job fell upon millions of mothers across the country. Several say they have found themselves having a hard time keeping it all together. Joining us live right now to tell us more on what she has experienced during this pandemic with her children and what resources she believes families like her need at this time is one South Bronx mom and substitute teacher Tamara South. And she's joined by her 9-year-old son Tavel this morning as well. So good morning to both of you. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm doing
Good.
good.
Good to hear that, Tavel. I like to hear that. So let's talk about this, Tamara. How have things been for you over the last couple of months, specifically regarding having to take care of your kids at home, all while balancing a work-life balance at the same time?
Definitely. It has been a challenge to say the least, between the Zoom calls and making sure that the kids are staying on par with the schoolwork that they need to complete and making sure they don't do summer school, right? It's between that and balancing being a mom, it has been extremely overwhelming.
And you have other children as well, right?
Yes, I have a daughter as well. She is 7 years old.
So Tamara, tell me about the challenges you faced as a mother with the remote learning as well. We've heard some stories over the past couple of months from various parents, but what were your struggles with the remote learning?
Definitely, my struggles have been just trying to balance it all and make sure that I know the information to be able to convey over to my son. Like, I felt like sometimes I needed a tutoring session to be able to remember the schoolwork that I did when I was his age.
Right.
And then on top of that, that has changed because that's a whole new standard, right?
You know, I was going to say, I saw on social media some parents posting some of the math equations that their children have to learn,
Yes.
and they were saying, can you solve this? And I was like, looking back and trying to think back, man, I cannot figure this out right now, right?
Yes.
So Tavel,
It's
for
a whole
you,
new system.
yeah, Tavel, tell me about, you're going into 5th grade, but how has the past couple months of remote learning been like for you?
I kind of like that I could be at my house learning, but at the same time, I wish I could meet everyone in person because I just miss everyone that I know, and that I just hope that soon I will be able to go back to school and just learn the
Yeah.
normal.
Well, there's nothing like being alongside your friends, right? And being in the classroom with them, working on group projects as well. But for you, Tamara, let's talk about what is exactly expected in September. There are a lot of plans out there for parents about what September will look like. What are your concerns?
My concerns is going back to school. What would that look like? What we think is a new normal will no longer be.
Uh-oh. We lost her. Hopefully we can get her back, because that was a good conversation there. I wanted to hear what her concerns were. But certainly that's what we hear from a lot of parents. Vanessa, a lot of parents were saying that they're struggling with the remote learning, trying to figure out the work-life balance at the same time. And I will say, I figure about if I was a kid, I think there would be this appeal to being at home, right? You want to be at home because you're like, oh, I get to be back, I get to be at home. But there is something to be said about group learning.
Right. I have a lot of friends who are in the same boat with that Bronx mom, and I think the appeal wore off after a month. And then the kids are like, okay, what else are we going to do? And then as a parent, you're working, helping them with their schooling, and also trying to just keep them entertained and engaged. It's literally like having 2 or 3 full-time jobs.
Yeah, we do have her back. So let's bring Tamara and Tavel back into the conversation. So guys, Tamara, tell me a little bit about the concerns, because you got cut off there, concerns you have for September.
Yes, one of my biggest concerns is we know that this will not be a new normal, right? So what are the guidelines that are in place to make sure that our kids are protected while they're at school? Do they have to wear these face masks all day? What if they drop on the floor? What about sanitary conditions? There are so many things to think about during this time.
And what are some resources that you think mothers like you, who are trying to manage it all, right? What do you think that should be made available? What would help make your life easier?
I think what will help make our lives as moms easier is I personally, even during the time when they're at home in school, more people reaching out to us. I don't know how easy it would be for teachers to do that kind of thing, because I know they're jam packed, but more of even counseling services to find out how we're doing. I almost broke down emotionally, and I was just like, what's going on? And my kids, they broke down too, and I really didn't know how to handle that.
I can't even imagine what it feels like to have the pressure of being a parent, and then on top of that, have to have the demand of making sure your child is getting the right education at the same time, because it is their future that's at stake. Savell, if you go back in September, you're going to wear that mask, right, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. Are you looking forward to hopefully seeing your friends, safely, of course?
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite subject?
Math
Ooh.
and English learning.
There you go. All right. I think. Do you know what you want to be? I know it's a long way away, but do you know what you want to be when you grow up? You got plenty of time. Don't even worry. Enjoy all the moments of being in 5th grade in your future, okay? Hey, thank you both for coming on this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, take care. See you, Tabell.
See you later.
All right, buddy.